mean, this is a thing, right? Yeah, I know, it's great. Yeah, so have you been, okay, this is not related, but since, this podcast is a bit weird, I'm trying to find friends, just like normal, regular friends. What? What? We're good? Okay, cool. So the thing is, trying to find friends, and when you try to find friends, well, sometimes you go on the internet, you go on these sites. It's not like dating sites, but it's like dating sites for friends, And, well, a lot of adult sites, like sites for adults, but not these types of sites, just like sites for adults to meet other people, like Meetup, but different Meetup type of sites. Well, they have these couples that are there. But these couples, they're not really looking for friends, but they're looking for play dates. So this is quite fascinating because, like, you want friends, but all these people are like, no, we just want to play. And I'll let YouTube kind of figure this out on its own, so that it can understand. And every time I'm like, I want to know you first. I want to be friends first. I don't want to go out, like, right here, right now and go play with you. You know what I mean? I want to just, like, can we go grab a drink first? Can we get to know each other? Maybe I'm not going to like you. Maybe you're going to pay for a hotel room for us to go play in. And I'm gonna be like, no, you know what? I don't like you. Or maybe you're not gonna like me. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, this is like, it's a thing, right? That's me. Hey, Carl. Yeah, I know that's you. But I'm not like that. I can't just do it the first time, first night. That's not my style. I need a connection, intellectual connection. I need the people to know. But some people on these like apps for, couple dating or like, finding friends, well, they're really just looking for something else, which is okay. I mean, it's all right. But the thing is, where are the people that just want friends? Can't find them. People want friends with more. It's very hard to find friends as an adult. You know that saying where like, Piper, so hard to find friends as an adult. And everybody uses that as their like tagline and things like that. But the thing is, you're on these websites or on these applications and you're there and you're just trying to make friends with people. Yeah, we're adults. I mean, when we were teenagers, we were like, swapping and doing all these weird things because you're a teenager. I'm not saying you don't do that as an adult, but I feel like me, for myself as an adult, well, I need to know somebody before I get to that stage, if I ever get to that stage. Some people you literally never want to do that with, and other people are like, yeah, I want to. Okay. Oh no, okay, I think this is for my Botox, so later. So the thing is, you're with these people, you're on these apps, and most people on these apps, well, they actually want, more. They want to play with you, but they don't want to get to know you, which is okay. Some people play and then they get to know each other, but I'm reverse. I'm one of this like tiny, super tiny minority that wants to be friends with somebody before I go play with them in the park or wherever. I mean, this might be due to a few things. I'm a public figure. I'm online. I know I look like this. So if you don't connect with me intellectually, I know you just want my body, and I understand why. I want my body too. It's an amazing body. But the thing is, you can't just like come up to me and be like, oh, Pepe, I want to kiss you. Yeah, I know most people do that, but I have feelings. I'm a person inside, So that being said, this is my experience so far. I even tried putting pictures of me that looked kind of normal, Yeah, I went undercover. So I put pictures of myself in a situation where I'd be like, oh, yeah, look like me, it's still me, it's still my face. I mean, I can't really like undo my face, right? That would be kind of difficult. So still my face. But the thing is, like, I took pictures where, you can't really see my body. I almost look like I could be like one of these really fat person and then like crop, they do fat crop. Yeah, it's a thing. No fat shaming here. It's a thing. Some people that are really fat, sometimes what they do is they take their profile pic and they crop just on their faces. So you can see that they're fat without seeing that they're fat. Because like it's called in French a tout un crop. It's a thing. Which I have no problem with, and I don't mind having friends that are oversized or overweight or whatever you want to call it. I don't mind. I mean, it's not about that. The thing is, it's about, I thought that by putting these pictures of me that were, not in bikini, well, maybe I would get people that are not just interested in going on play dates with me, but actual just like couple dates. Like, you know, you go out, go to the theater, have a drink. I mean, you don't try to make the girlfriend of the other person your unicorn when they have an actual boyfriend, girlfriend. Like, what's the deal with that? Don't try to steal other people's stuff. I must have been a great kid. I mean, I never stole other people's toys. And that's the problem. Yeah, with adult finding friending. It's like everybody wants to steal everybody's toys and everybody wants to play right away. I mean, can we just hang on the park bench before we go in the actual sandbox? That's more my style. I can't just go to the sandbox right away. I mean, I know I look like I can, but that's exactly why I don't do that. Because then people just want that. Like the physical, the superficial, the aesthetically pleasing me. And they don't want me for who I really am. And then they get really shocked when I have emotions and they figure out that I'm a bit cold and I'm a bit intense and I'm all weird inside. So that just hasn't worked out for me. And that's why we're talking about ugly versus nice. The ugliest cars. So even when I try to put like these profile pics, not of me in bikini, well, people still, you know, do what they want on these sites. They still want something that's there and that is available. It's okay to go on these sites and be like, you know, we want it this Friday. Which is fine. It's fine. But you need to keep in mind that some people don't want that. I mean, some people are really there for the friendship and some are like, no, this is not true. Well, I'm here for that. So, I mean, maybe we're just 1%, but there's some people there for that. Plus, like, you know, the fantasy. All of this big aura of fantasy is so huge. It's like so huge, this aura of fantasy, where you're on these applications and you're like, okay, it's a bit like, you know, when you want to buy your first car, but you know you don't have the money, it doesn't matter. You just go on the website and you start looking at everything and you take all the specs that you want. Money is no object. Well, and then at the end you're like, well, you know what, I don't even have enough money for that. Well, I'm like that car, you know? So the thing is, the problem with me is you need to get to know me before I, you know, get a paying job, whatever. So that just doesn't work out. Hack of all trades says Hollywood. Yeah.
At the end of the show, we're gonna vote for the most beautiful car
Ah.
ever.
Okay.
Yeah, not vote, but I have mine.
Okay.
The most beautiful car ever. I think everybody.
It's gotta have the most beautiful car ever.
Yes or no?
Okay, so at the end of the podcast, we will vote for the most beautiful car ever, since all through the podcast, we are talking the ugliest cars ever. Now, Carl, thanks for being here. Bubs Light here. I'll be your friend, Piper. I know I've got a whole bunch of online friends. You guys are awesome. I mean, I've got fans, followers, viewers, friends. But in real life, it's quite different, you know? Because I'm a person in real life too. I mean, I'm myself in real life with you here. But it's all very, very different, the real life and the not real life, for a lot of reasons. And I'm not saying I'm not meeting people online and offline. I mean, I meet both people, but I'm just saying that online is kind of, you know, there's some people there, so you put yourself online and you say, you know what, I want friends, like couple friends. And then, well, some people are like super hesitant, other people are like, you know, those people that ask for money. There's those people. And then, well, there's the other people that really, really love you and you haven't done nothing yet. Yeah, so they want to get like to that point where you're all playing together in a bed. Which is not the type of stuff I like to do on the first date. It could happen. But I mean, I don't want this expectation to be there, right? You know when you date, I mean, some people do that, right? They go on dates. I mean, it's okay. And there's this expectation that on the first night it's gonna happen, which is fine. I mean, I like the mystery. I like the excitation of it, like all of that. This is fine. It's okay that sometimes it does happen, but it's just like, wow, you're gonna get a babysitter, you're gonna get a dog sitter, and you're gonna come all the way to have a cocktail with me. I mean, and then I have all this pressure that maybe possibly you want something more. Even if I told you clearly I'm not doing that, you're still gonna do all of that, and I know you think that I will put out, which I won't. So I guess it's just like, maybe I'm too empathic. Maybe I think like I don't want to do that to a person. For them to rent a babysitter and do all these crazy things, with their busy schedule, and then me just being pretty for a night over a cocktail. You know, that's probably not enough for them. Some people it's not enough. They need a lot more. Or a lot less. It depends on how you watch it. Now, Max Powers says hello. Hey, Max. Hack of all trades, Hollywood. Yeah, Hollywood is definitely to blame for the aesthetics, but I mean, we've always had aesthetics. Let's talk about like art from the Romans, the Egyptians, I mean, even the Greek. We've always had art, and we had like a type of beauty, right? A type of aesthetics. The girls in the 20s had super short hairs and very thin eyebrows. Then the girls in the year 2000, well, they were more like Britney Spears, you know, apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, and like G-strings, and that was okay. But now things change, they evolve, and so it's different. Like the ugliness is maybe ugly back then, maybe pretty now, maybe reverse. Some of the sculptures I've seen or paintings, women seem to be a little bit more, you know, round. And now roundness is not the most necessarily like a beautiful thing out there. I'm not saying it's not beautiful, okay? But is it still what people want? I don't know. Like, we are trying to be more inclusive and putting that all in there. Are we doing that for cars too? This is the question, because a car is not born like that, you know? A car, somebody designs it. Somebody makes it that way. When you're born and you have the body you have, right? It's a bit more of a lottery, a genetics lottery, versus a vehicle that has a team of people assembling, designing, engineering, all of that, the car. So a lot of thought goes into a car. It's not like when you have sex with someone and then you make a baby, you've actually thought about the color of their eyes. Yeah, I know there's some genetical manipulation that you could maybe do, but it's still very illegal. You're not supposed to do that. For, well, godlike mode reasons. Scott Shook says, as a demisexual, I understand completely. I need a connection before I can proceed with anyone. That's even when I write on my profiles. I say I'm a demisexual so that people understand that. But I don't know, maybe it's my body, or maybe it's people. They just go straight there, right?
I think it's just
It's just the people. Huh? It's just those who like to share cars. Those people who like to share cars, you know, they see your car, they have their car. First night, they're like, okay, let's switch cars. I mean, I want to get in your car, right? So this is all cool, but I don't want that. I want to keep my car. Can I watch your car first few nights, you know? Then maybe I let you touch my car a little bit. But don't go in my car right now. I'm not ready for you to get in my car. So, that being said, you can be the most appealing person in the world on the outside. I have to like what's on the inside. Exactly. But again, it's just me being a little bit mad because like this French girl was like all up on me, but not in a good way. And they're like, you know, so they're telling me, yeah, we'll get back to cars, but I'm trying to like mix it together, you know? So they're telling me things like, yeah, but we like to like, you know, get all our cars together and all our cars can touch each other. And I'm like, you just said you don't like to swap cars, but you're saying that you like to touch all people's cars. Like, for me, that's the same thing, right? And then I'm like, well, I don't like to touch cars first. And then she says, oh, never text me, because I'm gonna say everything to everybody on the internet. Like, seriously? If ever you write comments, just don't do it. I think everybody who texts me knows it by now. But okay, this defeats the purpose. I won't say name for legal reasons. But the thing is, so she said all of that, and then after that she goes and saying, like, well, I didn't say there was a timestamp to it. Well, you're already talking about this. How can they not be timestamped? I'm telling you, I just want to go out for a drink, and you keep on saying, well, what if the drink goes well? What happens next? I don't know what happens next. I don't have a crystal ball. Maybe you're gonna feel like I'm weird. Maybe I'm gonna have some spinach in my teeth, and that's gonna make you gross out, and you're not gonna want to touch me. I mean, this can all happen. Why don't people think like that? Probably because I'm way too overthinking stuff, right? So that's the thing. You won't get to swap cars with me on the first time. Swap cars is gonna take a little bit longer. Yeah, I need a connection before I can give you my Model X for a little ride. Carl YouTuber says Greta Garbo was super hot. A lot of people like her, huh? She's the latest Wonder Woman at the time of recording this podcast. Wayne, what's up? Hey, so that being said, if your car's ugly, doesn't mean you should swap it more. I mean, you purchased that car, you love it, right? There's something about it that's with you, so you shouldn't do that. So the aesthetic of a person and the aesthetic of a car, same but different, right?
What about you bought an ugly car?
You bought an ugly car?
You know it was ugly.
You knew it was ugly?
You were always looking at a Ferrari.
But you're always looking, okay, that's not cool.
That's right.
That's not cool. Okay, this happens too, you know? So the thing is, if you are like, okay, so you bought an ugly car. But you found an ugly car. It's free. You decide to keep it, you know, and you put it in your garage, and you guys move in together. So you and your car, you move in together. And this car, well, it's ugly, you know, or it doesn't have all like the specific traits that most people find attractive. Let's call it like that. And then well, you're always looking at the Ferrari. You're always looking at other cars while you're with your car.
Not even Ferraris. Sometimes it could be just like...
Just a Honda Civic.
Full equipped Honda Civic.
Yeah, like a nice Honda Civic, you know, of the year. A Honda Civic of the year. So you look at it, you want to touch it, you know, you want to drive it. And I'm like, well, why didn't you just get a Honda Civic at the beginning? Like, you could have gotten the Honda Civic. Why you have that one then? Makes no sense. Max Power says you buy an ugly car so it won't get stolen. This is good. This is good. I mean, okay, so this is interesting. Because that means that some guys who get ugly cars and decide to move in with their ugly cars and all that, they want to touch and look and see at the other cars, you know, but they want to keep that one from themselves. So this is a bit confusing, right? This is a bit confusing. Carl says there are ugly cars and strange looking cars. Yeah, there's a lot of different type of cars. Some people like strange. Some people like different, unusual. I mean, it depends on what's inside, right? Not for everybody. Will Garcia, happy Friday. Yes, it is Friday. You are listening to While You Wait, the podcast that aims to electrify you with entertainment from Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Vancouver time. Sometimes I skip days these days because I didn't find a PA yet. But we're not talking about PAs right now. We are talking about aesthetics and ugly cars and the way that has to do with, the whole... I mean, how to say this in a regular way? The whole bunch of people out there that actually want to swap cars with you.
And good mix.
It's a great mix. It's a great combo. So, now that my life is all on the internet, as it usually is, let's get this started. And you can ask me questions about everything and anything because we are here and it's a delightful Friday. Javier, hey Javier, what's up? If you didn't get all of like my double attendees and all of that, I suggest you listen to the podcast again because there was a lot of it in the first like few minutes. Meaning that actually you should go and listen to it because there's a podcast playlist. It's called While You Wait and it's on YouTube. We are also putting our podcast on Spotify. Oh yeah! Thank you very much to all of our Patreon supporters, patreon.com/2girls1electriccar, who are supporting, yes, our actual podcast distribution, meaning that for the podcast to be distributed to all of these platforms like Spotify, Deezer, many others, iHeartRadio, well, we need to pay a monthly fee. So some of our Patreons are actually sponsoring that and paying for that to happen. Thank you so much. Oh, that's the guy, you know, from The Girl? What's he saying? Oh yeah. So this guy.
Talking about car, right?
We're talking about cars. So Okay. So this guy, you know, so I'm trying to be friends with couples. Not with myself, with my couples. I'm a couple, and then I'm trying to be friends with couples. Because if not, they just want me for themselves, right? And I don't want that because I already have somebody in my life. So the thing is, this girl and I, we just kind of catfighted, like totally catfight. And then her boyfriend, this guy, he says, "Oh, I see that your partner, my partner, and you did not match." I'm still very curious to meet you, friendly or professionally, if you still want to. Like, what the F, bro? Your girlfriend and I just fought. She's not on the same page as me, and you're still trying to have me. That's what I feel is so wrong. I mean, I know that some couples are open, E&M, whatever. Yeah, that's the brand of a car. It's the brand of a car. It's an E&M car. Very, very in vogue these days. And so you're trying to still get with me? I mean, I don't think your girlfriend's gonna be okay with that. I mean, I understand that some couples are like really open and they don't mind, and they have different cars, right? Both person have their own cars, and they can do whatever with their cars. They can switch cars. They can even take other people's cars, and it's all fine. That I understand, and I appreciate that in many different couples that I've met over the years, and I hope in many others that I will meet and befriend. But the thing is, like, when she says no and you're still pursuing, I mean, she totally rage quit. I told her she was French. She did not like that. If you know what this means, well, you know. French people are so... what would be the right word? Chiant. They're so like this... chiant en anglais. They're so French. Let's just call it like that. You know, they're so... It's not even sarcastic. It's worse than that. Like, I can deal with sarcasm. I'm very sarcastic myself. That's probably why you're listening to the podcast. But this was like over sarcasm. It was like bitchy, you know? She was being bitchy. She's like, well, I never said a timestamp. Well, you keep on talking to me about swapping cars, so what should I assume? That we're gonna swap cars in 20 years? At the rate that you're talking to me about swapping cars, I feel like you want to swap cars right now. We're not even together yet. So that's my feeling. We have Bub's Light here who says, my second car, 1962 Dodge Dart, flared fenders, push button, automatic trans, paid $50 for it. Well, in what year was that? What year was that? You paid $50 for your car?
What about the rust in the car?
Yeah, what about the rust? What about... how long did it last? Like to the stop sign?
12 hours.
12 hours? This is depends on how it rides. At least for me, I don't care if it's ugly. That's from Goldmaker 89. If it can make me feel good going down the road... I love where this is going. Yeah, gold market. This is good. This is good. Max Power says, I guess you buy the car, but you still want to drive that car you may not be able to afford.
It's not that expensive, an Honda Civic.
An Honda Civic is not that expensive.
You can always put some things in the future to make it more beautiful.
You can. Yeah, you can take like, you know, a standard car, like standard, and then you can add stuff to it. You can implement, make it better, right? With time. And you just, I have so many comments on this, like so many comments. Wow. Okay, let's get this party started, because you already know my orientation when it comes to cars. Okay, have you ever owned an ugly car? Let's start with that. Have you owned an ugly car? Okay, you tell us. We're doing a poll, as we usually do, because polls are super fun. Have you, again, it has to be ugly for you, okay? Have you ever owned an ugly car? We're not talking girlfriends here. Just, you know, I know we've been mix and matching, but this is really about cars. So, have you owned an ugly car in your life? Okay, so the cars I have owned so far, you might think it's not a lot, and you're right. I haven't owned many different cars. So, first car was a Volvo 1985, I think. It was like... not a four-seater, but it was like small. It was white. It was the turbo one. Yeah, so when you had enough, like there was this little turbo needle that would go there, and then you could activate turbo, but not always. It had to go up. It was a really cool car. And then I had another Volvo, but that one was like a station wagon. So that one was okay too. Yeah, the 840, I think. The 840E. So it has a sport mode. You could switch it sport mode or like eco mode. I mean, I had the benches, like the actual seats were warm. You could warm the seats. It was amazing. I even had like...
What was the first car to make heated seats?
Really? Volvo was the first car to make heated seats? For back pain.
Yeah, that's
Wow, that's so cool. Well, good thing we have that now in cars because I really do enjoy this feature, especially since I live in Canada. This is a great feature to have. I mean, see, I told you you also learn things on this podcast while you wait for your car to swap with another car or for your car to become more pretty. I mean, make sure that you tune into the podcast. We are now everywhere you listen to your podcast except Apple Music for now, Apple Podcasts, but we're working on it. Thank you to our Patreon. So just go click it on there. Rob8618 says, I had a 2003 Mitsubishi Eclipse GTS. They were not very popular, but I liked the looks of them a lot. Okay, let's bring this up on the iPad. Okay, so it's a Mitsubishi 203 GT. It's the Eclipse. Oh no, why? Total eclipse of the heart. Total eclipse of the heart. GTS. Well, I think GTS, that means something, right? That means Gran Turismo Sport. Oh yeah, I know that one. Yeah. Okay, so people, you can see it. You can see it if you're there in the, not just the live, but in the video format. I mean, I've actually seen one on Granville Island in Vancouver when I went there 2 days ago. There was a really old one, and I was like, this definitely more like a collectible now, I guess. So interesting that you had that one. You liked it a lot. But not anymore. Back in the day, was it okay? Or I don't think it aged like it should have, right? It's not an 80s car, but I guess you can say it's a 200.
If you would ask me the year, I would say in the...
It looks like an 80s car, but it's a 20s car for some reason, which is really weird. Okay, we're at Carl. One of my coworkers had a 840. What's the 840?
Talking about the Volvo.
Oh, the Volvo 840. See, so that happened to me. The other one was, I think, in 1991. So the station wagon, both really old. I paid $1,100 for it. It lasted me like about a year, and then the scrap metal place I gave it to gave me $160. For it. Everything broke on this. Like everything was breaking. One time, I mean, I was on the highway, and then. So I got out of the highway, and so you need to brake, and my brake got stuck. So fumes were emanating from the freaking wheel. Yeah, it was crazy. This car was always broken. You know, when you buy a car like this, you know what you should get? You should get a partner that is actually a mechanic. If you go that route, I mean, just get a partner that's a mechanic. It's going to cost you way less. You just pay them in nature. And that's when you can actually like go on these sites, these sites for getting friends as an adult, as a couple. And then, well, you play with other cars. You try to play with other people. You touch other people's cars. Maybe they want it. Maybe they don't. You're open to it. You're open to other people's cars.
But it's broken. You want someone to fix it.
But yeah,
you cannot fix it.
Exactly. You can't fix it yourself. So when it's broken, you need somebody else. And that's the thing with these cars. Oh my God, that was a cool car though. Just because of the actual heated seats that I loved, especially in Quebec. Like having the winters in Quebec, it was awful. Carl, yep, we got you. Scott Shook. Ever had a car that didn't realize was ugly until you got a new car? Yeah, me too. Okay, so Scott, you need to tell us what was that car. You need to. Ciao Tesla says the Fiat Panda 30. So let's bring it on the screen. Fiat Panda 30. Okay, let's see. What is it? Ooh, that looks like it's from a video game. Wow. But video games like, Tomb Raider, the first one, right? This is such a cube. It's not even pixel. It's like a cube, It's like a cube. 1980. Even the Ivory one, this one, looks like it's a computer. I mean, they didn't even put some caps on the wheel on most of them. It looks like they're just... Whoa.
How much?
How much is it worth now? I mean, it's Fiat. Fiat Panda 30. How much? Let's go all. Google's gonna tell us. For sale, auction. Yeah, well, but back in the day, new Fiat Panda, but they're new now. That doesn't count. That'd be close to Well, 20,000 euros. So see, maybe they put it back up, but better, right? Better. Cycling for fun. Wow, some people actually cycle for fun. I thought it was only to get from point A to point B, but good for you. You must have great calves. I had an Alfa Sud, not a looker, but good car at the time. Well, you see, some people, they don't mind the looks, right? They like it for it to be like, you know, hard, vigorous car, good car. So this is the aesthetics of the car. They don't mind it. Okay, so let's Google Alfa. I mean, it was an Alfa car. Alfa Sud. What's this? Oh, it looks a bit like. It looks like a Datsun. Doesn't it look like a Datsun a little bit?
Oh.
It's not that bad. Quite frankly, this one aged very well.
Yeah,
like even the back and all that. I think some of them look a little bit like Volkswagen. Like, yeah, Datsun or a Volks. It's I would say it's not that bad. Or like old BMWs, you know? Because of the front. Like maybe 80s BMWs. This is seriously, I don't think that classifies as like on the spectrum of ugly. It's not too ugly. Like it's not like not like that. Scott Shook. Volvo was also the first car. Oh yeah, you too. Okay, no, okay, it was the first car with one-piece seat belt. They left the patent open so other manufacturers could use them without having to pay Volvo. Oh, good for safety, right? Oh, we love safety. Well, you wait for people to be more safe on the roads and have full self-drive. Make sure that you listen to the podcast while you wait. The podcast playlist is on YouTube. It's called While You Wait. Or go to where you listen to your podcast and try to find While You Wait. Good luck. There's a lot of them. But if you know the title of the podcast, it's going to be easier. So this one is While You Wait, the ugliest car ever. See? Super easy to find. Max Power says, one of the ugliest car in the world, Gremlin. Like the actual Gremlins?
Yeah.
Gremlin?
It's got a bad reputation, but I like that car.
You like it? Oh, you see, it gives me the Gremlins. I knew it. Gremlin car. Okay, so I'm Googling. It also looks like a Datsun. Okay, it's maybe because of the back.
Those were dangerous because it exploded when you get hit by the back, but I actually like them.
I feel like it's not too bad, even though I'm really not an 80s fan. Like, okay, the front could kind of be like a muscle car. Then the back is a bit weird. Like, the back is a bit weird.
The white stripes that they put from back.
Like here we can see it properly. Yeah, the white stripe. It adds something to it, that's for sure. I mean, it's kind of sporty, kind of versatile too. Only 2 doors, so smaller car. I mean, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Here we have. So Max Powers, I guess, okay, but you say it's the ugliest in the world, but do you feel like for you, is it that the ugliest? Because I got a lot more on my list of ugly before that one. Oh, Carl says scrap metal for your 840. Yeah, scrap metal, exactly. So you just bring them to like a scrap metal place. Sometimes they take some of the parts and they resell it and things like that. But it wasn't total or anything. It was fine. This one was like a 2015 and totaled in a hailstorm. Oh, yeah, that happens, right? When people have hailstorms and things like that. But that's just like for the the carrosserie, the paint and all that. Yeah, Wayne is a mechanic, so see, he knows all about fixing cars and getting cars. So if somebody is a woman, because Wayne is more like a heterosexual, and lives in Wayne, you live in Minnesota, right? Like near like the America Mall. So if you want somebody who's a mechanic and you're a woman, just go see Wayne. Are you still like Wayne? You're still open to dating, right? I think Wayne has like no girlfriend right now, so you would be fine. And he's a mechanic. Okay, what else have we got here? Will Garcia says, if you get a car like that, good luck finding a mechanic. Just get a better quality car. It's just like my dishwasher, So my dishwasher, really old, really old, like older than me, like really old. I know you're like, Piper, you're not that old. Yeah, but for dishwasher, Like appliances, that's old. I mean, over 20 years for an appliance? This is like old, like really, really old. So the thing is, the dishwasher guy came in and I even put like a GoPro in my dishwasher with a light. Yeah, I know, full equipped, right? Welcome to YouTubing. So the thing is, I was like, I'm just gonna put it in there. That's a great idea. And so I filmed the whole thing, and dishwasher looked like it had prostate problems. I mean, you know when like the water goes like it was not doing the thing. And I'm not a dishwasher expert. I mean, I'm not even a dishwasher fixer. All I do is put the stuff in the dishwasher. Plus, I'm not one of these people that wash the dishes before putting in the dishwasher. Like, why would I buy a dishwasher then? It makes no sense. So I want a dishwasher that washes dishes on its own. Like, it's autonomous, right? So the guy comes in, show him the video of like the dishwasher's prostate problem, and he's like, yeah, that's an old dishwasher, and he even said, I think I have the same one. But we were like, well, you're a dishwasher mechanic, right? So you can fix it. But I'm not that. So what do I do with my dishwasher? And he goes in the kitchen and he opens the dishwasher. He looks at it and he's like, yeah, no, that's way older than mine. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna like look at everything. And I think the best option would be to find all the stuff that's wrong with it to get you a new dishwasher. So either he did not want to work, or he was like, it's too old. There's no way. This is just gonna fall apart slowly but surely. So I think you're overdue for a new one. I mean, I think this dishwasher is like over 30 years old. Like, it's a dishwasher. Give it a break. Like, let it go to peace. You know, rest in peace, dishwasher. So right now I'm doing all my dishes by hand. Yeah. Just so you know, FYI, you know.
And he said don't use it.
Oh yeah, he said don't use it too.
But it doesn't work.
But it doesn't work. So what would you use it? You just use it. Even the water doesn't even reach the higher parts. Like the GoPro didn't even get wet. Imagine that. Like it didn't get wet. So how would you even do that? Like this is not possible, right? So I'm getting a new dishwasher. This is, long story short, getting a new dishwasher. Yeah, it's happening. Super excited about it. Now, Wayne says I had a 72 Pacer. Oh, that is in my ugly car sheet. So the thing is, why is it ugly? Like, why are cars ugly? Some people are like, yeah, I like these cars to be like this. Well, okay, why is it ugly? It can be ugly because of the design, as we have seen before. It can be ugly because the color. You know, some colors are like super ugly. Had a friend, not a friend anymore, maybe because of that, I don't know. And everybody, one night we were criticizing the color of his car. He was like, it's green forest. We was like, it's poop color. And he was like, it's green forest. Like, it's Canada Goose poop color.
It's not fair. He was.
Well, okay, so it's not fair because he's colorblind. So he didn't know his girlfriend actually chose the car. That's why I don't have friends, because I overshare on YouTube. This is my problem. I'm starting to realize it now. So the thing is, so his girlfriend chose the color. So, but we didn't know. We thought it was him, right? He's colorblind, but I mean, he's intelligent. Colorblindness has nothing to do with IQ, right? So that being said, he was like, this is like a green forest. We're like, you can't even see colors. How do you know it's green forest? Like forest green, whatever. It really looked like, you know, it's a nice green, but it could be poop color. Okay, we're not talking like human. We're talking like, you know, these geeses and these like Canada Goose poop is very green. It's like a weird green. It's a thing. So Max Power says the Gremlins definitely is worst car. Now, okay, so what makes a car ugly? Design, color, that color story. Then, okay, there's another thing. It can be because of the age of the car. So it's the design, but the design according to age, you know, not just the design. Because some cars are born ugly. Other cars just kind of become ugly, right? Or outdated, or we don't like them anymore like that. So that's it for why is it ugly. Now, let's dive right deep into ugliness. We started to see a few of these cars. I got more. Wayne was talking about the Pacer, so let's go, because I got the Pacer here.
It looks like the Gremlin.
A little bit. The AMC Pacer, is that the one you're talking about, Wayne? I had a 72 Pacer red. So I have here in my list of the ugliest cars. Now, this is not for me.
It looks a bit like that.
But they all look the same. I don't know.
It's the same company.
So maybe it's the same company. Maybe the problem is, since we're only looking at ugly cars right now, it's like going to Winners, you know? Since all the clothes is already ugly, you find beautiful clothes, but it's from the ugly clothes. So this is the same thing. We're all looking at ugly cars. So we feel they're all beautiful now, which is gonna be a problem. After that, we'll look at other cars, okay? After this podcast, I think you need to look and think of other beautiful cars that are really beautiful. not all the ones we're seeing here. Okay, what's up with Hack of all trades? He says, had a 72 Chrysler just like Trailer Park Boys. Wow, you must have like really been in fashion back in the day. But mine had all 4 doors.
I think it's the park guard that.
The park guard?
The drunk.
Oh, the officer, the police officer?
Yeah,
Let's check it out. Okay, so it's Chrysler, so 72 Chrysler Trailer Park Boys. If you're here in the video format, you can look because we're bringing these things up. If you're not, don't worry about it. We're going to try to describe it or just Google it. Oh, but that's like, yeah, that's one of these. Oh, yeah. Okay, so passenger seat missing. Passenger seat missing. This is like, okay, it's not a muscle car. It's like these old cars but these big cars, right? A lot long on the front, like long nose or however that's called. He says, Hack of all trades says he paid $250 for it and drove it 30,000 miles. Being a mechanic pays. Well, yeah, if you don't pay it in money, you pay it in time. Cha-ching. Well, you wait for us to be monetized on YouTube. Make sure that you go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/2girls1electric car. All the money helps.
we are at hold on.
Yep.
We are at $65.21 per month.
65? Oh yeah, so far we've made $65 on Patreon. So thank you for all the people that are supporting us there. $65, yeah, it's a pretty good start. Scott Shook says my ugly car was a black 1989 Nissan Sentra. Okay, you're up next. Nissan.
Let's laugh about your car. That should have been the title.
That'd have been a good title. Nissan. We'll change the title later. It's gonna become that. This is how it works in time frame continuum. Images. Oh yeah. Okay. That's definitely yeah. It's trying to be in the 90s, but it's still in the 80s. It's very boxy. It's just very boxy. I mean, I don't think nowadays we find that pretty, but I think there was a time where it was okay. No, not that. Because I wasn't born back then.
Why would you buy it? Why? Just why?
Why? Okay, so
Why?
yeah, why? Who is it? Scott Shook. Well, he said he liked it because it was like, you know, it worked, right? It worked. So that makes a lot of sense. If it works, it works. There's some people don't need the looks. They just need for them to cook, you know? If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, make an ugly woman your wife. You ever heard that song? It's a great song. Would not air today. We have Bob Zeit here who says, they melted down my 62 Dodge Dart to make your Tesla Model X. Is there really aluminum in the 62 Dodge Dart? I don't think so.
It's all metal.
It's
like a muscle car.
62 Dodge Dart. But I mean, Tesla is made out of aluminum. Oh, wow. It has like too many eyes. This car has like too many eyes. It looks like it's an alien car.
Wow, that's really confusing.
That's really confusing, right? The headlights. There's like 4 headlights. The back is nice. The back looks a bit like, yeah, 1950s more, even maybe a little bit more 1950s. But the front gives you this kind of, you know, when people have 2 pair of eyes and you don't understand what's going on. I mean, this is exactly what's happening.
Oh, no, I don't like
This is too confusing. But thank you for melting your car to make my Tesla Model X. Love it. Love my Tesla Model X. So far, no complaints. Okay, Scott Shook also. Wow, how many ugly cars did you have, Scott? Are you okay? You want to talk about it? Do you need a therapist? I mean, we can arrange something. I mean, he says he also had a blue 1986 Toyota Celica. Oh yeah, I remember the Toyota Celica. That's
an ordinary car. It's not ugly, it's an ordinary car.
okay. So this doesn't qualify as ugly. It qualifies as ordinary. Toyota Celica. They don't still make them, but they made it for a while. 86. Bam. Oh yeah, that's ugly. Yeah, this is, yeah, this, for my taste, this ugly. This very ugly. Like, what? Did the light get out? It looks like the lights are gonna get out, but I don't think they do, right? They don't get out. Oh yeah, they do! They get out! Look at this. Looks like a little frog. It's like Frogger. Oh my god, okay. Please. So definitely would not buy that. Would not buy that. This is definitely on the Piper, would not buy that. Not gonna happen. Okay, so okay, Howie N says, Howie, thanks for being a patron again. So Howie says, Google the Robin Reliant. I hope, don't tell me to Google stuff that is not for YouTube, right? The Robin Reliant. Oh, okay. That's a three-wheeler. It looks like it has just one teeth in the front. What's wrong with this car? It doesn't look reliant at all. Just saying. Like the third, okay, the fourth picture is the car like rolling on not the right side. Oh yeah, it broke his wheel. It broke his front wheel. It's just, oh, this is so sad. It looks like this car has only one front teeth. You know? This is not ugly. I pity this car. It's not ugly. It's like, you know, you want to give it love and pity. You want to give her free candy. You'll have sex with this car for free. Like, this is what's happening. Look at this. This is the weirdest car ever. I wouldn't say ugly. Just because it's just weird.
It could be cute.
I think he's kind of cute, actually. How does, like, Adam Sandler says fugly? Because it's like funny and ugly, so it's fugly. So I guess I would go more for that. Yeah, because it's a three-wheel. Who thought of putting three wheels? This is like the Apple mouse charging underneath. This is, I think, the same concept.
Yeah, the Honda made like a little like three-wheeler.
Yeah, the Honda made a three-wheeler. Okay, for how for?
And stuff.
Yeah.
And there were so many accidents, they banned it.
There are too many accidents, so they ban it. Did that make sense? Three-wheelers are really dangerous.
Yes.
They say that you shouldn't do three wheels. Four wheels.
That's why
Four wheels.
put the wheel in the back.
Oh.
In the front one.
Okay, that's why the Spider has one in the back. So it's better if it's one in the back, two in the front, than one in the front, two in the back. We're not talking about dating right now, just so you know. We've moved on. We're now talking about cars. Oh, Michael Luther said I had a green Opel. Ascona, really bad but cheap. But as long as it's, you know, it's just something you pay for what you got. So Opel Ascona. And what year was that? What year was that? Oh, okay. Yeah, looks like that, right? Looks like that. Nothing too bad, nothing too great. I mean, they look like these type of cars, right? A weird car, the Tucker, 3 headlights. Okay, so Max Power says we should Google the Tucker. Let's see this. Is it like Tucker Clarkson or is it different?
They made a movie that I really liked.
Tucker?
The guy who invented the Tucker.
Tucker car. Oh yeah, they made a movie about the Tucker. Oh!
It's a good movie.
Well, that also looks like an alien. It's a bit the problem with the headlights and the eyes. It's like...
It was super secure.
It was super secure?
I think the light turns when you turn. It was the first one that the lights turned.
Oh yeah, the lights turn when you turn? Yeah, that's a crazy feature.
It's a good movie, actually, the guy.
So it's a movie about the guy that made the car?
Yeah.
Like a documentary style or like...
It's like Ford, but his name is Tucker.
Okay, it's like Ford, but his name is Tucker. Interesting.
He had a lot of problems. I don't remember, but it was a good movie.
Wow. Okay, so there's a movie about it. What else have we got here? So many people love ugly cars, right? Okay, so I got a few ugly cars in here, but so far I don't even need them. People have enough content for me to not use my cue cars, which is amazing. Scott Shook says I bought a Sentra for $50 USD and it lasted 18 months before I traded it. Well, they should traded it, so that's good. Plus $50 US. Seriously, okay, I have to say, I the cheapest car I bought, was $1,100. Now, I might be younger than some of you too, so if we add like inflation and all that, maybe that's more close to $50, $1,000 nowadays. Douglas Dauntless. Citroën used to be considered the ugliest. Well, Citroën are not in Canada, right? So Citroën is very European, which makes a lot of sense. Howie says the Robin Reliant was also known as the plastic pig. Oh, because of the wheel. It could be like a nose of the pig. Oh, that's so mean. That's so mean. That's so mean. Like, seriously? This is really mean. Mean joke. So I've got other ones that might be a bit newer in the term of new. So here I have the Pontiac Aztek. For those of you, yeah. So the Pontiac Aztek would definitely make it to like.
But you can make camping.
You can make camping, yeah. You can make babies in there. I mean, they might not look like this. I mean, this one too has a headlight problem, right? It looks like it has too many eyes. Like, this is so weird. So tell us about your ugliest car ever. Now, it's free for all. You can tell us the ugliest you've never had, the ugliest you want to have. Doesn't matter. Just go right at it. So that's for that one. And then the Fiat. We talked about the Fiat. But look at this one. It looks like it has a double chin. So this one is called the Fiat Multipla. And this is ugly. Like, this is seriously ugly. Because it's like... It's like double chin. It's like it only shaves it leaves the beard just under your neck. Like, this is the type of car that is. Then what else do I've got? I've got the Nissan Juke. This one I feel is not too bad. I know some people find it ugly. It looks like a dinosaur. I feel like the Nissan Juke is more like dinosaur style. For some reason, it makes me think of a I don't know, a plush dino. I don't know. A plush dino. It's the eyes again, it's the headlights. Then you can tell me if you agree or not. This one is the Yugo. The Yugo GV. I think the Yugo...
Okay, that car was banned. Long time ago.
It was banned?
Yeah, it was in Quebec.
In Quebec?
That had one. You bought it new.
Yeah.
The same summer, it didn't work.
He bought it new and in the same summer it did not work.
Everything was like...
Everything was like... Was it Russian?
I think it was Russian.
USSR.
It's not even Russia. It's beyond Russia.
It's beyond Russia. So the Yugo, well, Yugo, I think it's not that bad. If you look at the design, it looks a lot like some of the cars that you guys have like mentioned in the live comment section. But definitely, like Carl says, the Aztek was ugly for sure. And then Nissan Cube. Okay, let's do Nissan Cube. I totally agree with that. The Nissan Cube. You know what happened though? Last time I was on the road and there was a lady in the Nissan Cube. She had like a beret, like a French beret. She was like, you know, one of these grandmas, but you know, like the hip grandma. And she had like flowers and she had like a crochet top and all that. And she had a Nissan Cube. And I have to say, it suited her very well. Sometimes, you know, you look at the car and you're like, it's ugly. But when you look at the owner and the car together, you're like, makes sense. So I would have not taken that Nissan Cube away from that grandma. Seriously, she looked amazing in that Nissan Cube. I think it was like made for her. So this is my personal favorite, the PT Cruiser. I put it there. I didn't find it anywhere else, but seriously, like the PT Cruiser has something just so weird about it.
The one that I like it.
Oh yeah, that one too. So PT Cruiser, and then okay, Mitsubishi. I hate that one. Mitsubishi. Okay, is it like this? It's not Celica, it's some Delica. Delica. This is very doomsday-ish. A lot of people have them in Vancouver because it looks cool. And so they kind of, you see, they put like a whole bunch of Mad Max stuff on it. It's for doomsday. So the Mitsubishi Delica, it's better when it's like that, right? It's better when you add gear to it because on itself alone, oof, it's not the greatest car. I mean, it looks very 80s. Yeah, I don't like it per se, but I don't like much of these designs from the 80s, 90s. That's just me. So you decide. And then, okay, ugly. We'll move on to the ugliness of the ugliness. What else we got? The VW EV bus is ugly like hell. Oh, some people think that, yeah. So I actually have. For me, the ugliest EV out there is definitely the i3, right? But if you want to go there, I mean, the EV bus, this one, so this is the Volkswagen bus, you know, the one from the 70s, and then they made an 80s version that I don't like because it doesn't look like the 60s, 70s version. It was more, of course, more cube in the 80s, but some people like it. I have to say I like the style of the EV bus. They call it Buzz instead of Bus. By Volkswagen. If you don't like it, a lot of people don't like it. So see, we don't have the same taste. And then I have the i3. The i3, like what? BMW, come on. Like this is ugly. This is really ugly. Even the i8. It's an ugly car. They tried to be futuristic, and so they tried for the design to be something completely different because it makes sense. You know, you want people to notice it because it's new. And I think what people were able to do, like the Cybertruck, makes sense in that way. It's a different type of ugly. And then what else do we have here? Like, yeah, the Leaf was ugly. A lot of them are...
Is the Smart ugly?
The Smart is ugly. The Smart is ugly. It was ugly. And the Smart is made by BMW. No, by Mercedes, sorry. The Smart was actually a collaboration between Smartwatch, like a Swatch, and Mercedes. Yeah, I know, crazy story. I learned a lot of things. While you wait to learn more interesting fun facts with Piper, make sure that you listen to the podcast whenever it airs at 12 p.m. from Monday to Friday or whenever. And also, well, we have the podcast playlist that you can listen to whenever, wherever you want. Super easy. It stays on YouTube forever. Forever, ever. Yes, forever, ever. Bubs Lightyear says, fifth car, 1978 Fiat X1 /dash, I'm not sure, 9 metallic blue pop-up headlights, Targa top, fun to drive. See, doesn't have to be beautiful all the time to be fun to drive. Now, some of these ugly cars have cult followings, and this is what I want to talk about in the end, because if we go Twingo, I mean the Twingo has a cult following. People buy Twingos and they do crazy stuff with their Twingo. I'm gonna do Twingo cult. Okay, this is not happening the way I wanted to, but it's okay. I mean, it's just Twingo has a cult following. Twingo is so weird. It's such a small car, and it's still there. When I was in Reunion Island, I saw some Twingos. I mean, people who buy Twingos, like the older ones, they love them. They really, really love them. And so some of these older cars, yes, have cult followings. And we went ugly. We went very, very old ugly, right? Or, okay, not that old, but old for cars. Let's call it like that. There are newer models that are ugly too. But I guess that because it's older, again, it just didn't age well, right? Not everything ages well because we change, we adapt, and that is all very, very okay. So that being said, which one would be the most beautiful car ever?
Okay,
ever.
Wait, it's a poll. It's a yes or no.
Yeah, it's a yes or no poll. I know which one it is.
Lamborghini Countach.
Yeah, how do you write that?
I don't know.
Okay, I need to Google something. People, don't go anywhere.
From the 80s.
Yeah, because it's exposed at the MoMA.
Yeah.
So some cars actually make it to museums. I know, for their design, their lovability. So this is a good thing to understand that some of them, even though they age wrong or something like that, they still have power. They still made it. But you are free to tell us which car you think is the most beautiful out there. Because we've talked about a lot of ugly cars now, we need to rinse our eyes, people, and our ears. So if we go Lamborghini Countach, I'm gonna write this however, Google's gonna correct me. Yeah. Okay. There we go. So this is classified as one of the most beautiful cars in the world. Like in the world, because I think it even went to the MoMA, Museum of Modern Arts of New York. Because there's a lot of MoMAs out there. But the New York one. And so this car, I mean, every kid wanted this car, right? Every boy, young boy wanted this car. In the 80s. And I mean, it makes sense. It was a beautiful car in the 80s. Nowadays, still looks like it's from the 80s, right? I mean, most certainly. There are some new ones, like this one's supposed to be new. It looks, a bit more like, you know, sometimes I feel Ferrari, Lamborghini, they're similar.
They have the same similar vibe.
Yeah, the design is still similar. It's not like taking away too much. They kept like the side and all that. Even some McLarens sometimes. I mean, it's that type of car, right? It's that type of, it's a supercar. It's a supercar. Jaguar E-Type, that's from Douglas Downless. Cycling for Fun says kit. Well, they did make a real kit, I think, but yeah, I don't think you can just go and buy it, which is the thing. The old Twingo was okay. Well, I guess old, new, depending. What's okay? Scott Chalk says some of the most beautiful cars ever were the 1925 Rolls-Royce Phantom, John Kerry Coupe, and the 1939 Lincoln Zephyr. So make sure you go check that out, people, because I'm Piper, and you can always listen in on the podcast while you're waiting for your girlfriend to be ready to make new friends on the internet or whatever. Make sure you reshare this video /podcast by clicking the share arrow right below. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, just click it whenever you feel like it.